Welcome back to the channel. Today I bring you Atlantis, a game that until recently was completely unknown to me, from Leo Colavini, and this is the 999 Games edition. I could not find an English version. Where I live, I could only reach out to Italian versions or German versions, but because the game is totally independent of language, I decided to go to a sealed copy of the German version. Then I could bring it to the video, to the channel, and do a proper unboxing. So here we are. And why did I bring this game? Oh, this edition has some kind of rating, but I don't know what Geluk is. Tatic would be tactics, and bluff would be bluff. I don't know. Zero bluff or one bluff. Indeed, this is not a bluff game. This is a tile game. No, it's not even a tile game. It's like a puzzle that I personally found it very interesting. So Atlantis is getting flooded, like in every game where Atlantis is a team. There's going to be a flood, or the Atlantis is going to go down the waves, and you need to escape. And this is what's going to happen here. And we have Atlantis here on the cover, and there's the road here getting away from Atlantis. That's basically what's going to happen in the game, because Atlantis will be that tile, and then there is going to be a road taking to mainland, and you will need to take your meeple according to certain rules to the mainland first and have the most points by the end. So I'm going to show you what is inside Atlantis, and then we'll take a look at the rules. So let's deep dive here, the knife. So this is a 2011 game. So I'm opening something with 14 years. This game has been in the wait 14 years somewhere in someone's shelf, waiting to be opened today. It's just kind of an honor being the one bringing this game into reality so many years after being released. And that's it. We are now in. So before going into the manual, I always like to show these things. So Havana, never played. Machiavelli, I don't know what it is. There's some kind of expansion for it. I'm not sure if this is German or Dutch, but that's where my understanding stays. Or even another language. So this is a Teutonic. Okay, that's a cool game. That's not the big box edition that I know, but I can recognize the first edition there. Oh, there's also Carcassonne here, and the 1,000 expansions for Carcassonne. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the manual, which is this. So it opens in the middle, so it just unfolds. It just unfolds into 3 pages and the other 3 pages. So by the way, I got these rules from BGG, but I noticed there is also this manual in many different languages. So even if you get this version, it won't be an issue to get something in a language that you know. Then what is this? Okay, so these are, I know what this is. This is for the inserts, because I remember seeing that on the other game. And here we have Atlantis, black on the other side. So there's Atlantis. There's nothing special to be seen here. It's just something that shows where the game starts. And on the other side, this is the mainland. They just arrived through here. And these icons are the icons on the tiles and the cards, just to remind you that you will be bringing some treasures from Atlantis or whatever. And that's it. This is what's left here on the inside. Tiles, loose rubber bands, the meeples. So the meeples this is a 4-game player. Yeah, I didn't show that part, sorry. So it's 10 years old, but I guess young kids can play. 2 to 4, 30 minutes. Yeah, it could be a fast game, but I only play with 2. I'm not sure with 4. So you have the blues, the whites, reds, and the black players. Then you have the bridges, which is another resource that you can only use once. I'll explain. The cards, we'll see those. And then tons of tiles that come already unpunched, which is cool. So the tiles look like this. You have there's a value in a certain color, and there's an icon for that, a symbol for that color. Okay, and some of them say A, others say B. It's because of the setup. Okay, so you have vases, you have the olive trees, you get the statues in white, and you also have these, which are the water tiles. These are also important for the setup, as you will see later on. And below the setup, you have some pictures of the components. And by the way, this thing here will go here in the middle to make an extra separation. I'm not sure if this will help in anything, but anyway, it's even difficult to put it in. But once it's in, at least you can separate A from B's. Oh, now I understand. So below you can see this is like the tiles region, the cards, the meeples, and this will be what on this side? What's left? These will be more tiles. So the other colors, completely useless, as you can see, because you won't separate just to fit here on the insert. You will just put everything on the loose, and that's it. Then in terms of cards, in a very quick way, it's something like Ticket to Ride kind of cards, which is the different colors. So we have blue, which is this ring, this sapphire ring, the golden crown in yellow. We've seen that is black with the helmet, green, the olive green, pink is that flag. I think this is pink, not red. And then we have brown or copper color or clay color, the vase. And there's also white in statue, okay? And you'll see how those are used. So I'll just stop the video now. I will assemble a setup, a random setup, and then I will explain how this game works. Once the game is set up, it will look a little bit like this. So everything starts there on the Atlantis, where you have your meeples. Then you need to follow the rules in the manual, how to put the tiles. My road is a bit not accurately shaped, but doesn't matter. So you start with A tiles. For a certain number of them, it's a sequence of 2, and then individuals, and then you have 2 of them, and then in the middle there's the water tile. Then you start with the B section, the double tiles, then individual ones, and then again double ones until you get the mainland tile, which is where everything ends. You start the game with 4 cards and one of these pieces, which is a bridge. So basically a bridge will help you to jump over a certain water along the way. You only have once, and once you deploy it, it will stay in whatever water tile you place it, and any player can jump through that. So what do I mean by jumping? So imagine that I have these 4 cards and it's my time to pay and I'm the blue player. So for example, I could use this card, which is kind of a bronze, and if I do that, I will need to move the yellow piece to the next bronze piece, which will be this one here. Okay, but let's imagine a more realistic example, because this is a race, you want to move faster. Instead, I should have used this white card, which would mean that I would go to the first white card, which would be this one here. Then the previous tile will go away and I will keep it. So this tile is value of 2, which is also points in the end of the game, so I'll keep it. But you will not keep as much tiles as you want, because you will need to spend tiles to do some things in the game, like for example jumping obstacles. But I could be even more clever. Instead of using the white one, I could have used the blue. Oh, where did it go? The blue one. And as you can see, there are no blue tiles visible. The first blue tile appears only there, right? So if I had used this blue card, then the player, my meeple, instead of moving so short, it would move immediately there, and I would have taken this instead, this tile. So then there's a hole, and every time you have a hole, you fill with the water tile. If the next player would be the white, then by using the blue, you would go here, okay, because you could not stay on there. This one, you would stay here, and then this tile could not be removed, so he removes the next one that is empty, and that one becomes water as well. But you know, notice that I've jumped over the water there, so that means that that price needs to be paid. In this example, it was like this. So the white player, in order to pass through, he needs to pay the cost either from any of the tiles from both sides of the gap. So in this case, it's irrelevant because it's 3 and 3. He would need to pay 3 in order to be able to cross. And then once he paid, he would get this. So how can he pay? So he can pay this cost of 3 by getting rid of other tiles that sum the amount of 3. If you spend it like a 4 to pay 3, there's no exchange. You just lose a 4, that extra point. Or you can also use cards in your hands. Each card that you don't use, this card, it's considered 1. Once the gap is open with more than 1 tiles, it's the same gap. So in order to jump, so for example, if the next player, the red one, would use something that would make him go here, he just needs to pay once, and the cost would be either 2 or 3, he may choose. Then the game continues. You move forward with your meeples until you start getting to the mainland. Once you get the same way, you start taking out these tiles, and then another one comes in, you take another, and once you have holes here, you continue taking tiles until you get one of the players has the 3 meeples here on the mainland. When that happens, the end game is triggered. Okay, so also you can ask where you will get more cards to be used. So after every time you play, you will draw 1 card to replace or replenish your deck. Once you have 1 man here, you start drawing 2 cards. If you have 2 men, you start drawing 3 cards to accelerate the game. And once you have all your 3 guys, you draw 4 cards, because those cards will be still used as points in the end of the game. And then the game ends immediately. So the other players, they still need to then move forward all their remaining meeples in order to get the end of the game. But they need to pay in tiles and in cards all the remaining costs they have. So if they are very far away, then they will lose all the tiles they got to try to get their remaining meeples to the end. Maybe they will get like 0 points, or maybe some meeples may not be able to reach the mainland and they will lose all the points. But if everyone is able to, then you just take a look at the remaining tiles after you pay everything you need to pay, and you count the amounts there. You count the amounts. So you score the value of the remaining tiles, so 5 plus 2 in this example, plus 1 for all the remaining cards you have, and whoever has most points wins the game. Atlantis is surprisingly a super simple game, but it creates here a puzzle that I really enjoyed playing 2. I'll try now playing with 4 to see if the experience is also that amazing, or if it creates more chaos, more holes, more payments, being more punishing. But anyway, I guess this game is very old. You can find it very cheap out there, even sealed, as you can see for my copy that I just bought. It was not waiting for me here at home, it was waiting for me somewhere else, so I bought it very cheap. And definitely I invite you to try this game. Especially if you like things like Carcassonne, etc. It has that vibe with the tiles, laying the tiles, etc. It has the Carcassonne vibe, which is a vibe that I love very much. So I really recommend this one. I hope you've appreciated the video to the point that you consider hitting that like button and consider subscribing. I have a big playlist full of board games, many board games, as well as playlists for all the major card games out there, including a podcast, which I call Table Talks in the channel, where I'm interviewing people, get to know their projects, their stories, their profiles, while playing board games online with them. So I definitely think that you'll find interesting content in the channel to consider subscribing and to be part of this community. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the next video. Goodbye.